facts. They don't think you worth the air you breathe unless you gay or black. All my haters hang out with Antifa waving rainbow flags. All the dudes who hate me think they pregnant, they just gay and fat.
Even so, like, it's not funny, really, is it? They're going to be victims of you. Like, what the hell? Vegan MAGA? Oh man, I'm not going to get baited into a MAGA conversation. So can you just keep your political opinions to yourself, okay? Or share them wherever you want. Don't put the trash in the live stream, please.
So the way this started is he was watching a video where a animal abuser was using the excuse of animals being less intelligent, and that's the justification for murdering them. So then Vegan Glaze went on to say, imagine if that was humans, if you use that same argument to justify murdering humans. Now, I completely agree with that argument. It makes perfect sense. It's a complete contradiction that Carnus has. I have used that argument to defend veganism in the past. And I went on and made a joke about a lot of woke people would be off then. Now, of course, I don't justify anybody being killed, and it was a hypothetical scenario where if that was to occur, where stupid people was getting killed, woke people would be killed because they're stupid.
Okay, like, you can have your name, all right? You can do what you want, but please refrain from your woke scolding and your nonsense, okay? Please. I'm begging.
So refrain from your woke scrolling, huh? So what gets me is she has absolutely no problem with animal abusers coming on here and spreading the Carnus nonsense. She will debate with them, she will argue with them, she will let them write horrific comments about animal abuse in her life. But second, somebody start criticizing wokeness, it becomes an issue.
Do not generate World War III in my chat. Okay.
Now, is that just a little blowing this out of proportion? I mean, I simply wrote one joke about all woke people would be off in that situation, and she goes off assuming that like my every comment I'm going to write after that is going to be anti-woke, which it wouldn't have been if she hadn't gotten so triggered and blew up at this one comment. And it didn't end there. I continued to be harassed in the comment section simply for being a conservative vegan.
Look at them getting their head stuck after getting water, a basic biology.
There you see that Chip guy, who I will also be making a response video to. In fact, I went on his channel and wrote a few comments on his channel offering for a debate. But again, I will make a second video discussing that. Vegan MAGA, is that not a oxymoron? No, it is not. And I discussed that in several videos. Being a vegan and being a conservative, there is absolutely no contradiction to it. What does supporting Donald Trump or supporting the Conservative Party have to do with being vegan? How does that make you any less of a vegan by doing so? And if you bring up the fact that they're not vegan, neither was Kamala or Byron or any Democrat. I'm a conservative because I'm in support of deporting illegal immigrants. I'm against transgenderism, and I'm anti-abortion. Please explain to me how any of those three makes me less of a vegan. And I have said this numerous times, and I realize majority of conservatives are unfortunately closed-minded with this subject and in denial. But when it comes to withholding traditional value, well, we ate less meat in the past. We ate less meat in the past. So I would argue that being vegan would actually make more sense for a conservative. And when it comes to the MAGA movement, that just means making America great again. Well, in my ideal world where America is great again, it would be a vegan world. And the same people who think this way are the same people who will judge us, call us racist, call us homophobic, transphobic, Islamic phobic. They put this label on us, assuming conservatives are all the same, or assuming vegans are all the same. You are actually outcasting vegans by telling me that I can't be conservative and be vegan. These woke idiots are the same individuals that would criticize and harass a person for being a gay conservative or a black conservative or a transgender conservative. Here's Blair White. Uh, they are a transgender person who are in support of Donald Trump and are conservative. Here's a gay conservative, and this is just one of many. There's a lot of gay conservatives. And there's so many of us, but for the closed-minded people who still need to see it, there's a fellow black conservative.
Woke scolding and your nonsense, okay? Please. I'm begging. Do not generate World War III in my chat. Okay.
One of my response was just, "What's up?" I haven't really said anything. That was one remark.
Look at them getting their head stuck after getting water, a basic biological need. How stupid. Yeah, I can tell from your name, Vegan MAGA, but please, I'm setting a firm boundary. Okay.
So that is a person with limited ability to be open-minded and discuss other subjects outside of veganism.
You've already commented about how woke people would be offed with the implication that they're stupid. And no more. All right? Firm boundary. I know you're conservative. Is that still the old mate? Yeah.
And I know what you're going to say, that it was more so the joke that you made, and that's what she was putting a stop to. But later on in the conversation, I simply ask a question, and she censors me and blocks me for asking a question. And more so, my issue was the amount of backlash that I got from fellow vegans in the comment section who was simply attacking me for being a conservative. And one more time, just to clarify this before anybody misinterprets what I said. She had said a hypothetical situation where people are killed for being stupid. And I said, if that was to happen, then a lot of woke people would be killed. So I don't want anyone saying that I encouraged that or wanted that or was saying that I would do that. No, absolutely not. I don't encourage any person being violated or any amount of violence of any kind. I'm opposed to any type of violence against any person, no matter how stupid they are, or no matter what opinion they have, or no matter what they believe in. But again, and it's kind of funny, in a situation where dumb people was getting killed by some unknown person, they are the ones that would be killed in that situation. So then you see that Chip guy writes, "Do you have a problem with trans people? Or are you just fiscally conservative?" Now, I would say I definitely don't have a problem with trans people, but I do disagree and have a problem with transgenderism. And I do think transgenderism is a problem in today's society. This was not a response to that Chip guy yet. That's coming up next. But I responded to something Vegan Gays has said. I said, because they are referring to woke people being stupid. And then I said, I have had more woke people fight with me about why they are not vegan than anyone, which is true. Like, I have had so many leftists and Democrats use every carnage excuse in the book to justify the abuse towards animals. Are conservatives doing it? Yes. Are there some uh, high power conservatives who are anti-vegans and promote uh, animal abuse? Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, there are. And I have discussed that on my channel multiple times. I had a video recently, I had to take it down, but I was analyzing Matt Walsh's video. And though I support a lot of Charlie Kirk's opinions, and I've been advocating in his defense lately, especially against the leftists who are celebrating his death. I think that's disgusting and despicable. But before his death, I made a video about the debate he had with with a vegan where he was absolutely destroyed. I realize that. But personally, I have experienced numerous of woke people who was not vegan. And there's actually a thing called white veganism that I was going to make a video on a few days ago. I was working on it, but then I put it to the side. Part of me was thinking that it's not as relevant and not being talked about as much now as it was a few years ago. So I was a little bit on the ropes on whether or not I should make the video or not. But I probably will still put it out there. But there's a thing called white veganism where it's leftist woke people who claim that vegans are for white people only, and that it justifies white supremacy, and that it's only for white privileged males. It's complete nonsense. And this was an argument used by Democrats and woke people to criticize, discredit, and debunker vegans and to promote animal cruelty. Now, this part here, I think a lot of you who may be agreeing with her or disagreeing with me being offended by this, this is where you may start to turn the tables, because this is no longer about the joke.
Hard time. Chip, I've told them to not comment, and you're baiting them. Please.
So she basically is telling him he's not allowed to say what he just said. See, he's not allowed to talk to me. So now I can't even have a conversation with someone else in her comment section. So you admit baiting me, whatever you want to call it, but why can't we talk? Like, why can't we have a conversation? What is her problem with us having a discussion?
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. And Chip, please don't encourage it.
And again, oh, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. But she will allow people who abuse animals to come on and talk about why they abuse animals, which I do support. You should do that, absolutely. By all means, you should debate. I do it all the time. I'm actually planning on uploading a few videos where I do it. But my question is, why does he not feel the same way about other issues? Like, does he actually care more about her wokeness? Does he care more about transphobia and homophobia than he does speciesism? Because to me, speciesism is a lot more important. If I was going to censor anything, I would be more angry at someone talking about the abuse of animals.
Okay. Yeah. if they carry on, I don't want to hear it. Like, Carnist nonsense, bad enough.
Carnist nonsense, bad enough. Let me put it this way. If somebody was on one of my lives talking about wokeness, I would allow them to talk. I would be more annoyed by Carnist nonsense than I would somebody having a different political view of me.
I don't want to add another layer. Holy shit. Well, you seem to have a problem with them, with the comments you're making about them, so just stop now, okay? That's all I'm saying. I don't need to hear any more.
And there it is. I say I don't have a problem with them referring to trans people, but I don't agree with them. And she says, well, you seem to have a problem by the comments you make. What have I said about trans people up to this point? I got one question asked to me about trans people. I hadn't said anything about trans people. I had never mentioned trans people in any of the comments. I hadn't said one comment about trans people. I read you guys every comment that I said. And you can see it right here. I had not said anything about trans people up to that point. So here it comes here. I then go on. This is after that comment. Up to that point, I hadn't said anything about trans people, but she keeps saying I do, so I'm going to. I say there are only two genders. Okay, why not just prove me wrong? If you disagree with that, prove me wrong. Tell me why there isn't. And you know what? If I hadn't been attacked so much and criticized so much, then I wouldn't even have said that. If they had just ignored the comment I said to begin with, I would have kept watching the video and talking about veganism.
Vegan MAGA, I have already said I don't want to hear your shit takes on gender either. Okay? I don't want to hear it. Do you understand my boundary, yes or no? Because you've heard me say that, and then you've been like, oh, I'll just fucking ignore it. What's people's problem?
There was an aggressive attitude she had from the moment I came in there. And then she turns it around and tries to play the victim, talks about boundaries, and talk about how, I'm keep talking about it when it was other people talking to me. I wasn't talking to her, I was talking to someone else in the comment section. I mean, think how ridiculous that is. To bring up boundary issues because I asked a question about gender, how many genders there are, or because I commented that I believe there are only two genders because there is only two genders. And I say that. I tell Chip we can talk about it on my channel. And then I did say laugh out loud because the little snowflake was a crybaby about it. She was spazzing out about nothing. And then I say I was talking to Chip, not you. Well, how about this one? Because she really thought she had me here.
People who don't stream or don't put comment, like have a post or something, they don't seem to understand.
I'm pretty sure I do post in videos.
Addressing them, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not talking to you." Okay, well then you understand that if you're directly addressing me in your channel, and then I'm like, "Oh, I'm ignoring you. I'm talking to someone else."
Well, I wasn't addressing her, but yeah, I would not care about that. If people want to have side conversation and talk among each other in my chat about uh, virtually any subject matter within a few limitations, but uh, virtually any subject matter, I would be pretty okay with people having a conversation or debate about it. I also find this funny. Chip now said just keep your opinions to yourself. Sorry for asking. Okay, he did put in the sorry for asking, but he was the one who asked. So how are you going to say keep your opinions to yourself when he asked my opinion on a subject? Here's some of these comments. Could anyone else tell that vegan MAGA was joking, or was it just me who couldn't? Kylie, Marie. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Kylie. I'm sorry that your little feelings was hurt over a joke, or that you're just too stupid to understand what a joke is. MAGA person sounds about right for victimizing themselves. So, Chip, I'm victimizing myself when vegan gains went on and on about, oh, you are breaking my boundaries. I tried to tell you not to talk about anti wokeness. I told you to please not say that there's only two genders. Oh, yeah, but I'm the one victimizing myself. And look, one thing you did mention, and I do agree with, is that the cruelty and abuse and oppression and slavery and genocide of animals is more important than any of these subjects. It is, without a doubt, undeniably the most important matter right now. And I do praise you for being vegan. I thank you for being vegan. Um, I'm a little questionable with that because I think everyone should be vegan and you really shouldn't get props just for being a good person. But, I do praise you for going out and fighting for veganism and speaking for the voiceless. She also went on crying about, oh, I'm a queer person, and you think that there's not going to be any problem with that. Again, you're a vegan, and you don't seem to have a problem with people coming on and disrupting the stream talking about animal abuse. And you say that you, being a queer person, you are not transgender, so I imagine you are a lesbian. That is not transgender. And you went on to say that did you really think that I wouldn't have a problem with that, meaning yourself? That you did I really think that you basically was making it look like I was going there with the intention to start a confrontation, which absolutely was not the case. And then you went on to make the assumption that simply because you are queer, as you called it, your words, that you should instantly be upset or offended over someone saying those two genders. Well, again, I can show you multiple queer people in the queer community who would agree with me and would also say that there are only two genders. So you being queer does not have anything to do with whether or not you get triggered on whether you not get triggered by somebody saying there are only two genders. I then asked a question about abortion. I said, if you're vegan, then why are you not anti abortion? And that was the final straw, I guess, because once I asked that simple question, is once she actually made some smart comment saying I'm basically calling me an idiot. It wasn't in those exact words, but she said something about me being stupid. And she said, I'm going to put you in timeout now. And that was it. Um, simply for asking that question. Now, just to again clarify, people, veganism has nothing to do with whether or not you're anti or pro abortion. However, there is a clear contradiction between the two. Well, not between the two, but I do think there's a slight contradiction with a vegan being pro abortion. Again, you can be, that's not what veganism is. Veganism has nothing to do with anything other than being opposed to any type of animal exploitation, animal abuse, animal cruelty, harming animals in any way, going to the zoo, going to carnivores, wearing clothes made out of animals, anything like that. That is all pretty simple. Don't harm animals. But I do have a problem with vegans who are pro abortion because I feel like, in the same way we fight for the oppressed animals, we should also fight for the murdered babies. But again, those are two separate battles. I am not at all combining those two. I'm not in any way or form saying you are any less of a vegan if you are in support of abortion. I don't feel that way at all. Now, this one really pissed me off, Chip. That Chip guy says, might not even be vegan. Seriously, dude? Seriously? You're gonna freaking call me an animal abuser because I have a different political view than you? She goes on to make it seem like she wouldn't even have cared if I had just been talking about veganism, and she does completely discredit and belittles the MAGA movement by mocking the name. But she goes on to pretend like she didn't care. But then everyone in the comment section was the one asking me questions, and I was responding to them. And then she makes it seem like I was talking about, like I'm wrong. Like, oh, and she goes on to say, oh, you couldn't help yourself. You had to talk about there only being two genders and blah, blah, blah. People was asking me questions about it. So I hear in the comment section a lot that there are other vegan conservatives who watch my channel, and that's what this is about. This is about the community here, to make a movement here, to make a point here that we can be vegan and we can be conservative. And this is about expanding the vegan movement and having conservatives who are some of the most, loudest and strongest men to, advocate for veganism. So what I'm asking my fellow vegan MAGAs out there is how you view this. Like, have you experienced situations like this? Maybe let me know in the comment section as a conservative vegan. Like, have you had situations where people, other fellow vegans, criticize you or outcast you simply for having separate political views? And then my conservative, non-vegan conservative viewers, how do you feel about that? And my vegan leftist, do you think she was correct? Do you think she was wrong how she handled it? Do you think she sort of allowed me to talk? So vegan gays, keep doing what you're doing. Keep fighting for animals, but you're a woke idiot. And if you're interested in debating me or discussing any woke subjects with me, I'm willing to have a debate with you, singly you. I don't want to have a debate with 10 other people. I mean, I would do it. I'm not opposed to the idea, but I'm singling you out. You were someone who had the issue, so let's do it. Uh, other than that, the whole point of this, and not that I'm saying my feelings was hurt or anything like that, or boo-hoo, whatever, have your own opinion, your channel, you can do whatever the hell you want. But the point I'm making is to show the bias that a lot of vegans can have towards conservatives. And I do feel we need to be more acceptive in the vegan community of people who share other views and opinions on other subjects. And if you disagree with any of that and you have an issue with it, you can hate me if you like.